Welcome, welcome. Can I call you all forward to dedicate this garden and talk about our new outdoor space?
Okay.
Thanks, Kaden. So welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregational Society of Westborough. It is a pleasure to have all of you here. Yay! So I'm Reverend Laurel Graham, the minister of this congregation. We have our music director here, Kayla Farnham, who's going to be singing for us in a little bit. You can't hear me. Maybe we can turn the volume up. Thanks, Amanda. Is this better? Wow. The whole town can hear me now. Yeah, come buy some plants and come get some lemonade. Okay, we're going to start by, I'm going to have Phyllis light our chalice. This is something that we do whenever we gather for something important, and this is important. It's the symbol of our tradition, reminding us of the importance of community and gathering. So we'll light our outdoor chalice. Thank you, Phyllis. Well, this whole project, this garden project, started because Phyllis and I had a conversation about how people kept asking us if the church was really open, when it really definitely was really open. And so we had this conversation about how it's important to be clear about our welcome, and how we maybe could transform our outdoor space so that it was really clear to both the people in our own community and people out in the wider community that this place is open and available and here for you, and there's space for you here. So Phyllis and I started this conversation like 2 years ago, and it's been 2 years of planning and working behind the scenes to get to this place. It all started with getting our steeple renovated. First we had to remove those giant rhododendrons that were blocking the building so you couldn't even tell we were here. And then came repairing the steeple, which was a difficult thing to get done. There are not many people who know how to repair steeples. And then there was the even more obscure task of finding the windows, someone who could make these sort of like 4-foot diameter round windows with hundreds of panes in them, which is a dying art, but we finally found someone. And then there was the even harder task of finding someone who knew how to put circular windows into a steeple, which took like another year of this. The windows were in the back of the sanctuary sort of watching us, and we were trying to find someone. We found someone whose company is called Steeple Jack. And he figured out he could just pull them up to the steeple with a pulley system. So we didn't have to trample the gardens because there was this, we had to wait to plant things before there was going to be more equipment coming in. So thank you to Bruce Hall and Vince Aquilino, who were the two people who were sort of the project managers on that. The windows are in the steeple, which is a really big deal. And they look kind of tiny from down here, but they're truly like 3.5 foot in diameter windows. So thank you to everybody who contributed to the capital campaign and participated in getting all of that stuff done. And so then with the construction of the steeple completed, then the gardeners could start fulfilling their plans that they've been working on dutifully for years, it felt like, and start planting. So a special thank you to Phyllis Barrett, who's our fearless leader, getting this whole project going. And Jane Gates, who I don't think is here yet, but Jane is the garden designer. So the two of them worked together, putting in incredible hours to get this whole project planned and underway, and then with all of the people who helped with the gardening and the digging and planting and painting and all the things to make this happen. So it was truly a team effort. So thank you to all of you in all the ways that you contributed to making this happen. So we have two different outdoor spaces now. To my right over here, your left, we have the meditation garden, which is intended to be like a quieter, cooler, shaded space to have sort of a quiet, contemplative moment. There's a really cool rock bench in there for you to sit on. And then to your right, we have the Turquoise Table, which Stephanie is going to introduce in a minute, which is really about gathering in community and being clear that we're here for each other to be in conversation. So we also have a new redwood tree from the town's Adopt-A-Tree program. And we also wanted to honor the legacy of this space. A very long-time member named Barbara Muse passed away a couple months ago, and she was sort of the predecessor to Phyllis, who sort of led the charge with planting the garden, and people shared lots of stories about her time here. So her favorite tree plant was the lilac, and so we've planted a lilac sort of to remember the legacy that we continue what came before, and this garden will continue to evolve into the future. Did I forget anything that you wanted me to mention, Phyllis? We also have this beautiful birdhouse that Ed Boudreau, who's a congregant, made that will get installed. So we have a mini church to go with our big church. And so now I'll hand it over to Stephanie to tell us about what this whole Turquoise Table thing is.
Can you all hear me okay? Not used to speaking into a microphone. But thank you for having me. My name is Stephanie Stupleek. I'm a lifelong Westborough resident, Christian, realtor, community enthusiast, and volunteer with Westborough Connects. And I'm so excited that there's another Turquoise Table here in town. And I see a few of my neighbors here today, which is wonderful, yes, and that just ties all into the theme of all of this, so wonderful. A decade ago, Kristen Schell, an ordinary woman living life in a suburban neighborhood in Texas, recognized her desire to leave behind the frazzled busyness we easily get sucked into, at least me, and in favor of a slower pace of life, more intentional, authentic, and relational. She longed to gather summer with the people around her where everyone was welcome and belonged. After praying for direction, she was inspired to take an ordinary picnic table, painted in her favorite color, and began living life in her front yard with her neighbors. She became a front yard person. This simple act gave her space to breathe, connect, and turn strangers in her neighborhood into family. Like Kristen, I long to create neighborhoods and communities where everyone feels valued and connected and welcome. I heard about this movement soon after the book was published, when a friend of mine was living out the Turquoise Table in her own neighborhood on the South Shore. And hearing her stories of change and connection inspired me to put my own Turquoise Table out on Fisher Street. And through COVID, it helped to connect my neighborhood in ways I never could have imagined. Along with Westborough Connects, I love to share the message of the table so that it inspires others to see what's possible when something as simple as an invitation to come to the table can do its magic in a community. Turquoise tables have popped up at the library, veg out at Norris Farm. There are other turquoise tables and chairs in front yards, and now this church. My prayer for you is that this would be a space of grace. The Bible says to take every opportunity to open your life and home to others. And may this table and this corner of Westborough be part of a movement to turn Westborough into one giant neighborhood.
Well, thank you again. Thank you all of you for being here, for participating. We have fun and activities and music now. So there's a list, there's a menu of fun things that you can do. And Kayla's going to sing to us. Do you want to say something, Phyllis?
Yes.
And now Phyllis.
Yeah, thank you all for coming and supporting our garden. I just want to go over the list of things. There's 6 things to do today. The first thing is to sing along and enjoy Kayla's music. Plant a seedling is on the turquoise table. They're marigold plants that need to be moved into pea pods, and you can take them home. The third thing is the stone bench. There's a poem on the stone bench to tell you what to do if you don't know how to meditate in a quiet area like under the evergreen tree. And they're going to give you a chocolate kiss. You put the chocolate kiss in your mouth, close your eyes, and don't move until the kiss is gone. Can you do it? The lemonade stand is up front with lemonade and cookies. They're Girl Scout cookies, by the way. And Adopt a Plant. Over here we have a plant sale that was donated by members. We have some vegetable plants and some house plants and some outdoor plants. And last but not least is to count the panes in the windows of the steeple. And you do have to go out as far back as the sidewalk in order to see up that high. And at the lemonade stand, there's a box. Write down your name and how many panes you counted. And we'll see who the winner is that has the right number of panes in the steeple windows. So have fun, enjoy yourself, and thank you for coming out today.